Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to His due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Archakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught us the truth. And peace, blessings, love, and salutations to those who elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. May the blessing of election fall upon you and your household. To you I say shalom. And this is your brother Ayawab, back at you again with another lesson all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yashai Ba'ashem Chakwadash, entitled Remain Humble. Remain humble. I got this quote. It says, pride is the worst companion. It teaches you nothing, stunts your growth, and ruins you. You can't be right all the time. Switch pride with humility, and you'll grow. So when you come into this truth, the last thing you want to be is prideful. That's the last demon, the last, demonic spirit that you want to creep up into you and, start putting thoughts into your head, being prideful, you're the best, you this guy, you're that, you're him. You don't want that him spirit, that prideful spirit, man. You're proud. You can't be told nothing. You can't take rebuke. You can't take reproof. You can't take correction. You think you're better than everybody else and, that everybody else is inferior and under you. And you don't want that spirit. When you come into this truth, man, you should always be, speaking to myself first and foremost. Because, I'm not exempt from having spirits jump on me, giving me thoughts. But at the same time, you got to know what is of Yahweh Shem Yashai and what is of Satan. Because, Satan is always trying to sift men out. You got to know when it's Yahweh Shem Yashai and when it's Satan, man. And if you get the feeling and it's Satan, you got to rebuke that spirit, man. If that prideful spirit starts rising up into you, cannot allow that prideful spirit to fester and to grow, because it's not going to bring nothing but destruction and damnation to yourself. But you want to be humble. You want to remain humble, lowly, meek, because that is what Yahweh Shem Yashai is looking for. And then, like it says in this quote, you remain humble, you'll grow. And ultimately, if you remain humble, you're lowly, you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you'll receive salvation from Yahweh Shem Yashai. And that's what we're all, striving towards, salvation, because that is the end all be all of this system, of this movie. You don't want to be destroyed because of pride, man. So let's go ahead and start off, just get, straight to the point, straightforward scriptures, man. Going into being humble. And before we get that, let's do this. I think it's Proverbs 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So if you're going to be prideful, man, you're going to receive that destruction. If you're haughty, you're going to fall, man. Let's get that word haughty. Let's see what that says. That word haughty, H1363, Gabah. It says height, exaltation, height. So you're lifting yourself up. Pride. It says arrogance, pride, haughty, height, high. So you're lifting yourself up. You're putting yourself in this high position, and you're going to fall. That's a trait of Esau, man. Esau is haughty. Esau is prideful. And you don't want to have the same spirit as Esau, man. Because what? Just as Esau is going to fall, if you have a haughty spirit, if you have a prideful spirit, you're going to fall as well. You're elevating yourself instead of allowing Yahweh Shem Yashai to elevate you, man. That's what it says right here in 1 Peter 5 In verse 6, 1 Peter 5 and 6, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, and that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. You got to cast everything upon Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You can't think that you can do it on your own. You can't do this on your own, man, because if you think you can do it on your own, you know, that lone wolf spirit that you can just do it. You don't need nobody. You don't need the brothers and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't think you need that, that's a prideful spirit, man. That's a prideful demon on you. And you need to rebuke that. And there is certain circumstances where, you know, you may be on your own, where you may be away from brothers. You know, you and the brothers may live in a different state, you know, different counties, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, there's order. There's an order to everything. There's ways that you can work around that, ways that you can maneuver around the situations that you may be in, to where you may not be around any brother. You can still reach out, and then, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You can, you know, reach out to them and text them, and, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but just reaching out to them and, you know, communicating with them is, you know, roughly, for lack of better terms, you know, you can communicate them and let them know what's going on and how you're doing and everything like that. If a situation arises, then what? You have a brother to lean upon. You need the brotherhood. You need Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You can't do it on your own. So again, 1 Peter 5 and 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. And you have guys who are exalting themselves into these high-ranking positions, into you know, these lofty positions. And at least that's nothing but pride, man. Arrogancy. That's arrogant. Let's see what that word arrogance says. Arrogance. The quality of being arrogant. Okay, you're going to answer. You're going to give a definition with the definition. So you're self-important. Let's see. It's not giving much. You're conceited, man. You're putting yourself above everybody else. But the scriptures say, and you think you're this high and great and mighty man. And I'm not speaking to anybody. I'm just speaking in general, because you have individuals in this truth, or call themselves being in the truth, that put themselves in this high and mighty position, and you can just see the pride oozing off of them, especially in these other camps, man. I'm not gonna name names, but what does the scripture say? The greater you are, the more humble you shall be. Slide, bear with me. Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 3 and verse 18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So if you think you're this, if you believe you're this great and mighty man, which we are, but if you think that you're this great and mighty man above everybody else, then you need to be more humble. You need to be more lowly, more meek. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself. And what does that bring forth? And thou shalt find favor before the Lord. If you're being humble, remaining lowly, you're going to find favor before the sight of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai. And that's what we want, man. We want to find favor in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So he says, well done, my good and faithful servant. And so that we're saved. Who wants to die in this society, man? I sure don't. But you have guys who it just seems like that they want to by their actions. You can know all the scriptures, you can know all the precepts, you can know all the breakdowns in the world, but are you humble? Are you lowly? Are you meek? Are you brotherly? Are you giving alms? Are you giving tithes? Are you doing what you're supposed to do, man? You can look all high and mighty on the highways and byways. You can look all high and mighty in the lessons. But what about behind closed doors? What happens when you turn off the camera? What happens when you close the laptop? What happens when you ain't around the brothers? What are you doing behind closed doors? Speaking to myself first and foremost. Because this is a serious business that we're in. This ain't a game. This ain't nothing that we should be playing with, man. This is business, and this is life and death. Whether you're saved from the nuclear destruction or whether you're pelted with missiles, man, from above. Whether Yahweh Shem Yasai beams you up or you're dying from famine, from pestilence. Whether you're receiving a judgment of the 2/3. And we don't want that. So we got to take this serious and remain as humble as possible. Especially these fucking women, man. I'm not even going to get into these women because these women are prideful, man. And these women are going to be humbled. So back in that Proverbs 16, what was it, 18? It jumped up on me. Proverbs 16:18, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. And the NLT says, better to live humbly with the poor than to share plunder with the proud. Just live a humble life, man. A humble, lowly life. Be content. Know how to just, get by. You ain't always got to live the high and flashy life. Let 2/3 do that, man. Let them have it. Let them have the flashy cars. Let them have the mansions. Let them have the fame and the glory on their side. Let them have it because we're going to get all that and more in the kingdom of heaven. What it say in Matthew 6:33. Matthew 6 and verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So seek the kingdom and remain humble, remain lowly, and seek the kingdom, because everything that you see that and you want on this side of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yasai, is going to make you forget about all that you want on this side and give you everything beyond your wildest dreams in righteousness. But first, we got to seek the kingdom and do what is required of us on this side so that we can receive the kingdom. And that don't mean just knowing precepts and knowing, the breakdown to 2nd Ezra 11, and breakdown to this, breakdown to that. Yeah, it's good to know, and you should know it. But that shouldn't be your main focus. There's other things in this ministry that needs to be handled, needs to be taken care of, needs to be remembered, and not just forgotten within your mind. Matthew 23 and verse 12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. That word abased, or abase. So it says humble, humiliate, lower, mortified, to bring low. Let's see what it says in the blue letter Biblia. That word abase.
Strong's G 5013. Tapainao.
It says to make low, to bring low, to bring into a humble condition. So if you're exalting yourself, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yasai, he's gonna make you humble, but it's not going to be the humble that you should be at right now. He's going to bring you to a humble, low estate, because you're going to be humble, man. But it's not going to be the humble that you're expecting, to be ranked below others who are honored or rewarded. So you're trying to honor and reward yourself right now. And if you do that, the Lord is going to bring you lower than everybody else. And he's going to honor everybody. He's going to honor and reward everybody else above you, because they was humble. when they was meant to be humble. And then the Lord brought them up. Because that's what it says. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. And he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Humble yourself so that in due time the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua will exalt you. Don't exalt yourself now because you will be humbled. You wanna be humbled, then exalted. You don't want to be exalted, then humbled. That just sounds bad, man. You want to be humbled and then exalted. That's what we're seeking for. That exaltation. But not of our own means. Of the means of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. This is James 4:10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Don't try to lift yourself up. Allow the Yahweh Hashem Yahshai to lift you up. And that may take time. That may and will take time, man. But just know that the Lord will exalt you and will, lift you up if you're doing what you're supposed to do in due time. Not of your own time, but of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshai's time. We'll end it off right here. Luke 14 and verse 7. When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. And what happened to this man that went to the highest place and was sent down to the lowest room? He exalted himself, and then what? Then he was humbled. He exalted himself, he lifted himself up, and then he was abased. He was brought low. He was brought lower than everybody else. To the lower, it didn't say to a lower room. It said to the lowest room. Come on, man. It said you was brought down lower than everybody else. You went down to the lowest room, and everybody else was higher up than you. Why? Because he was pride. This is a prideful spirit, man, right here. This is a proud spirit to automatically go to the highest room. And then what? He was prideful. Then he got humbled, man. And he had to go to the lowest room. Verse 10. Luke 14 and 10. But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room. That's a humble man right there that does that. He's lowly. He's meek. That when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit and meat with thee. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So you exalt yourself, you're going to be abased. You humble yourself, you're going to be exalted, man. Remain humble. That is what's going to get us into the kingdom of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the spirit, to the body, to the fold. Before we end off, I'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.